Hi, in this video, let us discuss about networking ports and its port numbers. So, what is a port number basically? A port number is a unique identification of a particular service that is available on the server. And if a client requests a particular service, it will be going through that particular port number and then it will be sending that particular service to the client again. So, in other words, we can always represent a port number as a gateway to that particular service. In order to explain you more clearly, let me take a real world example. For suppose, if you are residing in an apartment, so nowadays we will be placing so many orders, right, in e-commerce website and all. So if you place an order, okay, say some Amazon.in, okay, so where you are requesting a particular product, the delivery boy, how he can deliver the particular product to your particular flat? First of all, he has to identify the particular apartment number, your apartment name or that building number he has to identify, and he has to reach the particular apartment. So is this sufficient to deliver the particular product? No. Again, he has to reach to your particular flat number and then only he can always deliver the particular product. So here you have to remember that even though if you reach the particular apartment also, because of the reason he doesn't know the particular flat number, okay, he can't deliver the particular product, right? So similar is the case in networking as well. So whenever a particular client requests a service or a response from the particular server, it will be sending through the particular port number. So it has to go through the particular port number. First of all, it has to reach the particular server. So for example, say this is my client, this is my machine, right? This is my laptop and I am accessing this particular server, say Amazon.in, as we have discussed, right? So if I want to access the web page on this particular Amazon.in, so I have to send a request to the Amazon server first of all, so that it will be going to the, it will be reaching, it will be identifying first of all the IP address of this particular server. Say for example some 53.1.62.23, some IP address, okay. So if it is the IP address of the Amazon server, it will be reaching over here, and then because it has to fetch the web page, so it has to go to a particular port number called 80, okay. So if it is HTTP, we'll be discussing about the port numbers, okay, but for now for example it has to go to 80 or else it has to go to 443 for HTTPS. Okay, likewise, it has to go to a particular port number and then it has to fetch the web page, and then what it will be doing, it will be sending the response to the particular client again. Okay, so that is how the port number works. So here it is just like a gateway. Okay, so it has to open the particular gate and then only it has to get the particular web page and then it will be delivering, which one the server will be sending to the particular client, right? That is the thing that will be happening in networking. So whenever I say port number, right, so not only the server, okay, so not only the server will be having the port number, the service will be available in the port number, in the certain port number, but even the client also should request to the port number only. Okay, client also should be requesting through a particular port number. So if I talk about the port numbers, so we do have 65,535 port numbers in total. So from 1 if I start, it will be 65,535, or else if I start from 0, 65,534. Okay, these are the total number of port numbers that are available. So as I have discussed it right now, so whenever the particular client sends a request, right, so it will be sending through a port number as well. So here what happens, it is not a port number just like how the server having a fixed port number. Here if I want to web page, so it has to definitely go to 80 port number or 445 port number only. Sorry, 443 port number only for HTTPS. Okay, so but here it is not the case whenever the client is sending. So how it will be sending? So based on the port number which is available at that particular point in time, it will be taking that port number. For example, say 1024 is available, so it will be, so on your browser, right, so many, if you are opening any tab over here, so automatically the port number it will be taking whatever the tab you opens from that particular port number, it will be taking the particular port number that is available and then it will be sending a request to the particular server. So it fetches the particular data over there, the web page, what are the service you are requesting, it fetches that particular service and then it will be sending to your particular client, right? That will be what happening in the particular networking. Okay, and again here, so whenever this data is being sent right from the client, it will be sending in the form of packets, right? It will be sending in the form of packets like this. So whenever it sends the packets, okay, so it will be adding the port number of the client as well as the port number of the server. So we'll be calling this as the source port number, and this is called as the destination port number. The port number on the server is called as destination port number. Okay, so this will be added to the particular packets. So which is responsible to add? We will be having a layer called transport layer. So we'll be actually having OSI model where it defines 7 layers. Okay, so out of these 7 layers, the transport layer is the one where it will be responsible to adding these particular port numbers, IP, source IP, destination IP, source port and destination port. It will be adding this particular thing and then it will be sending this particular information to the server. So based on this one, because it will be adding, it will be knowing this particular port number, going over there and then it will be sending the particular response to the client, right? That will be what happening in the particular networking. So that is what we have to understand, right? So now if I talk about the port numbers, actual port numbers, whatever we do have, the most important, we'll be having several port numbers, but most prominent and important port numbers if I want to discuss, where in interviews and all they will be asking. Okay, so what we can discuss, let me clear all this. Yeah, so now starting with 20 as the port number. Okay, 20 and 21, I have to specify these two port numbers. Okay, if I specify 20, 21 also I have to specify, because these two port numbers are related to FTP. Okay, FTP means file transfer protocol. So whenever you want to transfer a particular file, okay, so from one computer, from a client server or one computer to another computer, whatever it may be, so if I transfer a particular file, I have to use this particular file transfer protocol. So in order to use this one, okay, we have to use these two port numbers. Okay, if there is a file over here, I want to send this particular file to this particular computer. Okay, so I have to send through 20 and 21 port numbers. Okay, so what are these 20 and 21 port numbers? 20 port number will be establishing the connection, whereas 21 port number will be actually transferring the data. So we do have some third-party software just like FileZilla. Okay, FileZilla. So it was not installed in my system right now, but I do have an image. Let me show that. So FileZilla is a freeware, okay, where we can always transfer the particular files from one server to another server, from one machine to another machine. So likewise we will be having. So here this is the machine that you are using. This is the local machine. This is the remote server. So likewise you can always give the domain name, okay, username, password and port number 20. See here you can always give port number 20 where it will be connecting to that particular site or the server. Okay, and then you can always drag and drop the particular files. Okay, so likewise you will be having this GUI where you can always drag and drop from here. Okay, so the whatever the file you want to transfer to the particular server, simply you can always drag and drop it over here so that it will be transferred. So how it will be transferred? With 21 as the port number. The actual transfer will be happening through 21 as the port number and the connection will be established with 20 as the port number, right? So likewise we will have two port numbers, one is 20 and another is 21, where we'll be using for file transfer. Okay, so that is the particular thing. These two port numbers are related. And the other port number, if I talk about, is the 22 port number, which is for secure shell. SSH port number will be saying SSH, which is for secure shell. So what is this particular 22 port number? So whenever, what is this and what is this SSH protocol? So whenever you want to access a remote server, okay, so whenever you want to access all the particular stuff of a remote server, that means all the folders, all the files of a remote server. So what we can do, you can always connect through SSH. Okay, and then you can always access to the back end of the particular server. Say this is my client and this is a particular server, okay, which is available in the AWS or GCP, whatever it may be. Okay, so this particular server, I want to access all the files, folders of this particular server. So how I can access? I can connect through SSH to this particular server, okay, by using 22 as the port number, and then I can always access the particular contents. Not only accessing, I can always have the full privileges as well. Grant, revoke, modify, edit, delete, all these privileges, okay, completely I can always have the access to this particular server. How? By using SSH. So this is what we can always do with 22 as the port number. So another port number which is called as 23, which is used for telnet. So what is this telnet? Telnet is also the same stuff only. Okay, from your computer you can always access the particular server, and you can always access all the files and all the folders, and similarly you can always have all the permissions just like grant, revoke, edit, modify, delete, all these permissions by using this telnet as well. So then what is the difference? Kiran, between telnet and SSH? So this is a good important interview question as well. So the difference between SSH and telnet is that both will be doing the same things. Okay, you can always access. If SSH will be using 22 as the port number, whereas telnet will be using 23 as the particular port number. Okay, so but whenever you transfer the data through SSH, right, it is encrypted, whereas whenever you transfer the data to telnet, it is not encrypted. That means the data will be transferred in the form of all the packets will be transferred in the form of plain text. What is that? It will be transferred in the form of plain text, so that the attackers, right, they will be always having a chance to identify. So we will be saying man in the middle attack, right? So these particular attackers, they can always have a chance to lure your data. They can always take your data, all your credentials, or your important information, all your privacy information, all they can always access, because data will be always transmitting in the form of plain text whenever you use telnet. Otherwise both will be having the same functionality. Okay, so they can always you can always use telnet, and also you can always access all the particular information on that particular server. So that's why, right, nowadays nobody will be using telnet, because you can always it is prone for vulnerabilities and all. Okay, attackers can steal your data, whereas SSH, right, it is always secured because it is encrypted. Okay, so that is the difference. 22 port number for SSH and 23 for telnet. And there is another protocol which uses port number 25. Okay, this is SMTP protocol, simple mail transfer protocol will be saying. So what does this protocol will be doing? So whenever from one computer to another computer, okay, if you want to send a mail, okay, so how you can send a mail from one computer to another computer? So with the help of the SMTP server, first of all it has to reach the SMTP server over here. Okay, so this is machine A and this is machine B. So if at all you are sending if you want to send an email to machine B, to a person who is accessing the machine B, okay, so you can always, first of all you have to send to the SMTP server of the machine A. Okay, so and then what does it do? Through the internet, okay, it will be sending to the SMTP server of the machine B. Okay, and then it will be the machine B will be receiving the data through the SMTP server of the machine B. So through SMTP server only you have to send the data, and the other person also receives the data from the same SMTP server, SMTP of the particular server. Okay, and then he'll be getting the particular mail over here. Okay, so SMTP, simple transfer mail protocol, it uses which port number over here? 25 as the port number. In order to send or receive the data, 25 as the port number it will be using, and then it will be sending the data. Okay, so 25 is the port number related to SMTP, simple transfer mail protocol. And for the same mail, right, if we do have other services as well, just like POP3 and IMAP. What is that? POP3 and IMAP. So this POP3 so uses 110 as the port number. Okay, POP3 uses 110 as the port number, and IMAP uses 143 as the port number. So what are these POP3 and IMAP actually? So whenever you send the mails to SMTP server, right, so while receiving, okay, so whenever it uses a POP3 as the particular service, right, so the particular data, okay, so once after receiving this particular B machine, once after receiving a mail, so A machine has sent a mail, okay, so it has gone through this SMTP server 1 and SMTP server 2 of the particular B machine, and B has received the data. So in POP3, so once after receiving the data, this particular mail will be deleted from the SMTP server. So if you access, okay, so if you're in office, for example, say, so you can always access this particular mail on your particular server, and if you go to your home, okay, and if you try to access from your mobile, okay, you cannot find the mail again. You cannot find the mail over here, okay, because it was deleted from the SMTP server, okay. And similarly, whenever at home, whenever you have got a mail, okay, so if you access that mail and if you go to office again, you cannot find that mail, over here. So that's why there will be no sync between the different devices. Whatever the devices nowadays we are accessing, we'll be accessing the same mail using so many devices, right? There will be no sync. Okay, here two mails may be available, but here only one mail. Okay, because of the reason, whatever the mail you have downloaded, it will be removed from the SMTP server, right? Okay, so that is the particular thing. Whereas IMAP, it is not like that. Okay, so if we use IMAP, what happens? So IMAP, it will be maintaining the particular email on the same SMTP server itself. Even though if you have downloaded, okay, it will be maintaining the same thing on the server, on the SMTP server. And if you go to home and if you want to access the same mail, it is still available on the SMTP server, and you can always access that the particular thing as well. So that there will be sync between different devices as well. So nowadays IMAP is the only thing. Okay, any email provider, okay, they will be using whatever the particular Gmail, whatever the mail maybe you use, okay, so it will be using IMAP as the particular thing only. POP3 is the technique that earlier it was used, but now only IMAP will be used. Okay, so that is the particular stuff. 143 is the port number. Okay, so that is the particular thing. And again, if you have to specify another port number, we will have HTTP, as we have discussed earlier, right? 80 HTTP 80 port number. So whenever we request a web page, so HTTP protocol, okay, so will be enabled. Okay, it will be going through the 80 port number and it will be getting the information, right? So it will be going to the server and it will be accessing the port number 80, and then only it can always get the particular information. So HTTP port number, HTTP uses the port number 80, and similarly HTTPS, it is also used to get the web information only. On your web server, if you want to get information, you can always use HTTP or HTTPS. HTTP is for 443. So what is the difference then? Again, what is the difference would you have for Telnet or SSH? Here also the same thing. HTTP is insecured. HTTP is always insecured, whereas HTTP is a secured. So that means it will be, the data will be encrypted whenever the particular sender or your client requests the particular web page. Okay, so it will be secured, or else even the server sends a response, again it is secured. Okay, so here in HTTP it is not secured. Okay, so the data again it can be always be available for the particular attackers and all. Okay, that is what you have to remember. 80 and 443 both are related to web servers. Okay, and you can always get the web pages, but HTTP is insecure, whereas HTTPS is secured. Okay, that's why, right, we'll be saying whenever we use the particular URLs, if it is HTTPS, we'll be having confidence that it is secured. Okay, so that is the particular stuff. Okay, and apart from this, we'll be having port numbers just like if I say 389, this is for LDAP. So what is meant by LDAP? Lightweight directory access protocol will be saying. So what is this particular protocol? Lightweight directory access protocol. So now, so lightweight directory access protocol is the one where it will be your active directory services, whatever the active directory services are there, right, it will be storing all that particular information. Okay, so on the particular LDAP servers, okay, whatever your username, passwords, okay, all those particular stuff, it will be accessing on the LDAP servers. So that's why, right, whenever you want to have a single sign-on and all, so definitely it will be getting the particular data from the LDAP servers, where we will be having the particular authentication of the particular username and password, all this particular stuff, and then it will be using the same single sign-on into different websites and all, right? So whenever we want to use this particular LDAP, it will be using 389 as the particular port number. So this is my particular client. Okay, so I will be accessing different websites. Okay, so different websites in organizations are, suppose, okay, this is your organization laptop. If you want to have a particular website, your access portal, RS request portal, or transportation portal, attendance portal, like that will be having access, right? So once if you access your laptop, organization laptop, so again it won't be asking for the username and password for those websites and all. Okay, so what we'll be doing, so first of all, whenever you give your credentials over here, it will be transferring to the LDAP servers. Okay, and then it will be having the authentication, whatever the particular authentication that you are accessing with the credentials, it will be checking it over here. And then for these websites also, if you access again, it will be using the same authentication, because you have access to, you have provided your details, right? It will be going to this LDAP server and it will be checking whether you do have the you are the same user or not. Then it will be sending a response over here, and whatever the website you access, okay, so again you need not access, okay, and you can always access the same website and all, whatever you are requested for. This is called as SSO, single sign-on. The opposite to this one is MFA, multi-factor authentication. Okay, so this is different. So like that we can always access the particular thing, SSO. Okay, that is the particular thing. And again we do have 3389 as the particular port number. This is for RDP, so remote desktop protocol. Okay, so whenever you are accessing Windows, okay, from one Windows machine to if you want to access another Windows machine, what you can do, you can always access RDP, okay, as the particular protocol. Okay, so and again you will be seeing on your screen, right? So the same thing, just like how you are accessing your web desktop, your physical desktop, you can always access by using this RDP protocol. Okay, remote desktop connection will be saying, okay, in general. So this will be using 3389 as the particular port number. Okay, that is the particular stuff. And again, if we say we do have 53 as the particular port number as well. 53 is for DNS. So what is this DNS port number? This particular DNS port number, it will be resolving the IP address of the particular domain. That means what? This is my client, right? And my client is accessing a particular server, flipkart.com. So what I'll be doing over here on my browser, I'll be accessing simply www.flipkart.com. Okay, flipkart.com. This is the URL I'll be giving and I'll be accessing. So if I give like that, see, I can always simply, my browser provides an option for me to give the particular domain name like that, but internally my computer can't send a request to the server. It has to access, it has to go to the Flipkart server, right? And then it has to get the web page. So it cannot access the particular server by the domain name. So what it has to do, so it has to reach to the particular DNS server, and it has to resolve the particular domain name. Okay, and it has to get the IP address from here, and then it has to send whatever we have discussed. It will be adding this particular source IP and destination IP. Now it will be knowing the destination IP, right? Now it will be adding to the packets, the source IP and destination IP, the source port number, destination port number, all those details, and then it will be getting the particular details. Okay, so it will be accessing it will be resolving the IP address from a particular domain name. That's what the particular DNS, okay, domain name service will be doing with the port number 53. So here all the other services, okay, they are all TCP. If you talk any other service, these are all TCP only. It will be using TCP. All these are TCP only. Okay, except this particular DNS. DNS uses UDP as the particular protocol again. So what is the difference between TCP and UDP? TCP establishes a secure connection, okay, reliable connection, okay, between the client and the server, between the sender and the recipient. Okay, and then what does it do? It sends even the acknowledgement as well. Okay, a proper connection will be formed. We'll be saying three-way handshake in general. Okay, so a proper connection will be formed. Okay, and then it will be sending the response. Okay, even the particular acknowledgement, whether, for example, if I transferring a particular file, okay, whether the file has been transferred properly or not, it will be checking over here. And due to some reason, if the file has not been transferred properly, it will be sending an acknowledgement to the particular client over here. It has not been transferred due to some internet connection. It has not been transferred properly. Again, if the internet connection has been restored, so it will be completing the particular thing, and then only it says that the file transfer is completed. Okay, so that's why, so a secured connection will be established between the client and the server. Okay, and it will be sending even the acknowledgement as well. Okay, that is the thing TCP protocol will be doing, whereas UDP it is not like that. Okay, so there will be no acknowledgement. So once if the client sends a particular request, okay, it will be going to the particular server. Okay, that's it. Once if it sends a request, it will be going to the particular server. Okay, so again there will be no acknowledgement whether the particular thing has been completed or not. The classic example is my voice commands. Okay, so the audio streaming or video streaming, whatever video you have, right? So that's why those are all UDP. Okay, so whenever you do have a video streaming, so why the buffering starts? Okay, why we will be having the particular picture, okay, turning on your particular screen and all. So because of the reason, it won't be sending any acknowledgement to the particular client again. Okay, so once the packets have been sent, that it has been sent, that's it. So because of your internet connection and all, if it is slowed down, again the packets also will be slowed down and the buffering happens. Okay, that is the particular stuff. Even the voice messages as well. If I am speaking to another, if I am speaking on a particular voice over internet, okay, so to another person, okay, if my computer is not, if my internet is not good, or else the other person's internet is not good, then what happens? My voice will be broken voice. Okay, will be listening as a broken voice at his side. Okay, that is the particular stuff. Okay, so these are all the particular things. And even 514 is for syslog servers. Syslog 514 is for syslog servers, 514 port number. Okay, so syslog servers are the one system log servers. Okay, where we will be having all the networking kinds of devices and all the particular things we can always get, okay, as the logs and all. So how the logs will be sent through this particular port number 514. Okay, that is the particular stuff. And even 3306 will be having, which is for database, especially for MySQL database. Okay, so MySQL database, it will be sending the particular data through 3306 as the particular port number, right? So these are all the various port numbers that we do have. So hope this is helpful. Okay, so in interviews and all, these port numbers are very, very important. They will be asking. Okay, so please like, share and subscribe the channel so that it will be useful for others as well. Again, we'll be meeting with another topic. Until then, have a great time. Bye bye.